Hello guys, and welcome to episode 4 of the Hermitcraft mod saw series on the semi-official Geek Squad server. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I know I'm having a load of fun playing this mod pack, as are several of the other Geek Squad agents. I have received high praise for putting the server together for them, even though I did so little of the work as far as the mod pack is concerned. But guys, today our very first priority has got to be putting together the ritual for the bound tools. Now, as far as tearing up the altar, I am stifled until I can get the bound sword, so that I can kill things with it to get the blood shards to make the bricks to tear up the altar. And then we'll have to make a whole bunch more runes. But with the villager spawner that we've got going, it should be no problem at all to go ahead and get enough essence to be able to put all those runes together once we have the blood bricks that we need to go ahead and cap off those other 4 posts. So that's the first thing that I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to gather up a few of the materials that I need, and then I'll be right back to show you what I'm doing. Alright guys, so here we go. I've cleared open a path here for the ritual of binding. So I just need to change my ritual diviner over here. Ritual binding, there we go. I've got plenty of ritual stones. I've got my 4 inks, so we should see this kick up into action. So just right click that, and it starts placing blocks. So you just keep tapping on this until it's placed all of the blocks, or it tells you that it needs you to do something else. And there we go. Couldn't click on it anymore, so we knew the ritual is done. So this is the ritual of binding. And what you use this for in blood magic is to make the bound tools, including the sword and the gun. So I'm going to be using this to make those tools, especially the sword, because it's kind of required at this point, because I cannot tear up the blood altar until I have blood shards, so I have to be killing mobs to get them. So I'm going to pretty this up a little bit, because right now a whole bunch of dirt and the ritual stones doesn't look too special to me. And also I'm going to go ahead and get together the materials to make the tool. I will be back, guys. Alright, as you can see here, I've made the altar look a little bit better here for this ritual. It looks a little bit more legit as a blood magic altar here. So I've also gathered the materials together to use the ritual. So I guess we'll just we'll start out. Right. Right, I probably need to turn off this magnet so that way I can actually toss stuff onto it. Yep. And then lightning starts striking the ritual. There we go. A bound sword. So you can see here it starts off as deactivated, meaning that it's not currently draining life points. It's got a pretty decent attack on it, plus 12 attack damage, which you can improve with enchantments and other stuff like that. It has to be activated to be in use, and while it's activated, it drains life points from your network the whole time that you have it. So you want to make sure that you don't leave it activated, or else it'll start draining life points from you and you'll die. So if you shift and right click, that's when it becomes active and you can start using it. So I'm going to make the other tools here, because I want to make the pickaxe and the blaster. So I will be back once I get that done, guys. Alright, it's really, really cool now that they're all enchanted. I hate to say it, but the the energy blaster cannot be enchanted. It does not count as a bow. And so that means just in general it's going to be subpar. It's very unfortunate because I was really looking forward to it. I mean, look at how cool this thing is. They even do a little explosion thing. But without being able to enchant them with any of the stuff for bows, they're just not going to work out as well. It's very unfortunate, but it's the case. So I'm going to dive into the nether here, and we're going to check these tools out. So let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, good. So here's the pickaxe. This is just going to tear through it. You guys are going to be amazed to see this. I mean, I've seen it in action before, but this is the first time I've ever used it myself, so I'm kind of giddy with excitement myself. Here you can see where I was mining out netherrack before. Oh, a fire elemental. Alright, so the sword gets the first test. Oh, yeah. Eat it, sword, or fire elemental. Okay, so pickaxe. Let's see, where's a nice flat area? I really do need to be on a flat area so that this will show up even better. Oh, some teleport creepers. I've got them fully enchanted, just as I had my other sword, so it's got full, soul stealer, knockback, sharpness, everything. Everything. So, alright. Large flat area. Here we go. Let's do it upwards. So, let's get here so that it's a little bit more dramatic. Okay. So here we go. So first off, if you just left click, it's normal mine. Cutting through netherrack like butter, of course. But, if one was to right click with it, look at all that. Look at all that. Oh man. It clears out such a huge area. I mean, such a huge area. I didn't even have inventory space to pick all that stuff up. Oh man, some of it's nether tin ore too. Oh, nether coal ore. Just gonna step over here. And put that down, because I don't really care to have this lava spawn here. But man, look at that. That all from one single right click of the bound pickaxe. Watch me do it again. Oh man. There we go, whatever that is. Nether sulfur. Oh wow, and it silk touches apparently? Because that looks like nether quartz. Oh, nether saltpeter. Okay, that's not nether quartz. Alright, so it doesn't silk touch or anything crazy like that. I didn't enchant it with silk touch, so I didn't want it to be silk touch, so I'm kind of glad that it wasn't. But yeah, look at that. That's crazy. And that is the bound pickaxe, guys. It's alright. I'm going to start killing stuff with the bound blade in the hopes that I can get myself some of those blood shards, because I'm looking at tearing up the altar. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So guys, I made it back from the nether. This is the amount of weak blood shards that I got. I used one of them to craft some large bloodstone bricks, which is what I need on these pillars here to go ahead and tear up the altar. Now I do need to make more runes as well, because these dirt slots must be filled with runes for it to go up to the next tier. Here, I think I'm going to be doing some more speed runes. Since it does not matter how many life points I'm getting actually, because I have infinite villagers to work with, I don't really need to do anything with that. So these ones will do me just fine. I might even take those out and do something else, because it just does not matter. But anyways, so I think this whole tier I might do as speed runes, because making the runes and stuff is very, very time consuming. To make all of the slates and then put them to runes, either the runes for the altar or the runes for making the rituals. It takes a really long time, actually, so I think more speed runes are in order. And then down on the 5th tier, whenever I'm ready for that, I think I'm going to be using Runes of the Orb, which, if I read them correctly as to what they are, those increase the amount of storage that your orbs have. As far as getting the 4th tier orb, once I put the runes in and put the bloodstone bricks up, I'm going to just use one of these weak blood shards that I got to make the tier 4 blood orb, which will enable me to store, I believe it's 1 million life points. which is a pretty big network. I tore through the better part of 150,000 doing all the stuff that I did. More than, actually. No. 50,000 life points. It only has a storage of 150. What am I saying? So yeah, I tore through over 50,000 life points. Going around playing with the tools, and also like crafting the tools, and then going to the Nether and killing a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know, guys. That's what I'm thinking for this last one here, when I get to it. But I gotta craft the runes up, which is still gonna take me a lot of time since I don't have the speed runes yet. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys. And so here we are. I went ahead and put in all of the speed runes down there, and if I check it now, you can see that it reads as a tier 4 blood altar. So, how do you get to tier 4 blood orb? Well, it takes one of the weak blood shards and a total of 40,000 life points. So throw that in there. You can see it starts straining really rapidly now. I'm actually just going to have to leave it on, I feel, until I am able to get this knocked out. Oh god, why? So many villagers. Turn off. Okay. And there we go. So, that's how quickly, with, let's see, that will be, like, almost, like, more than 30, almost 40 speed runes. You can get it done that quickly. So I'm going to clean up these villagers, figure out what I want to do next, and I'll be right back, guys. 1 million life points. Our tier 4 blood orb is finally full. So, now I'm going to take a look at what we can do with it. Alright guys, one of the things that I've been looking at on what to do next is some more of the ritual work. But before I get into that, I'm really thinking about this lower room here. It's set up quite nicely. It's got plenty of the stuff that I need to get going on it. As you can see, I've upgraded the barrels here to deep storage units on all but the gold, since the gold has to be put through a furnace before you can use it, and the other ones do not. So it's still on a barrel so that I can tick it over into the Ender.io alloy smelter, which on it, by the way, I also gave it an octatic capacitor, so that way it can store more RF, and also completes the operations a great deal faster. But this room, I absolutely require to set up the Well of Souls ritual that will automatically feed life points into my altar, so that way I don't have to be here to sacrifice all of those villagers myself. So, all of this stuff has to go somewhere else. And if all of this stuff has to go somewhere else, then where are we going to put it? And I thought, well, you know what would be a very good place to put it? Inside of the spectral dimension. So, I've got myself an ectoplasm here, and an iron ingot, so that way I can make a specter iron, and then you put it in there with the stick, and that gives us our specter key. Now, if I understand the way that this works correctly, I just right-click, and that'll take us to the specter dimension. So I just wait for it to open, and maybe I didn't do it right, or maybe it's just taking a minute to load. Sometimes extra dimensions take a minute to load. Maybe I didn't hold it down for long enough. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. There we go. I just didn't hold it down long enough. So, guys, if you do not know about this, this is sort of my own personal specter dimension. You get to it with the specter key, and each specter key is only good for that one person's dimension. I couldn't get into anybody else's with my specter key, and neither could anybody else get into mine with theirs. Now, an operator can make a special key to go into anybody's, but I'm not going to abuse my powers like that. I'm going to only use this for myself. And I think the first order of business would be to put some outlines down, because this looks terribly bland at the moment. But anyways, so maybe a floor, put some machines in here, move all that stuff over, and then chunk load it so that it keeps going. I don't know. But this is where I'm going to be, I think, storing all of my machinery that's going to be running all the time. I'm going to move some of that stuff over, guys. Maybe think about what I'm going to do next, and then I'll be back with you. And so here we go, guys. I've moved all of the storage into my Spectre room. And I think that is what I'm going to use it for. Just primarily, I'm going to use it to store everything that I get. If eventually I get into Applied Energistics, then this will be where I put my Applied Energistics network. And then I'll have the quantum links to get myself back to the other dimensions, I feel. Also, I'm told that you can dye this blocks just by clicking on them with some kind of a dye and it'll do the whole thing. I'm kind of curious about that, actually. So, how about we take a look at that? Let's see. What color would I like my walls to be? Oh, let's see. How about red? Yeah, let's look at red. Blue? Blue. Like a full-on dark blue. Let's check that out. So, make them into petals, and then do one in here. Get ourselves a blue dye. Let's see if this will work. I'm not sure it will. Oh, it did. It did change them. It did change them. And you don't lose the dye. That's nice. That is nice. So let's throw that back in there. Oh, I want to change it drastically. Like, I really want to try out... Let's try out red. Let us try it out. Okay. Get ourselves a red one. Floral red powder. I mean, that did change the color, but it doesn't... I mean, like, it's not very red. I guess it's because it's sort of a see-through color, maybe? It sort of counts that way? I don't know. I prefer the blue. There we go. That's more soothing, more calming. It makes it look more like a sky to me. Even though it is really not a sky. Let me throw that in there and then take some more sticks out. I gotta find someplace else for these sticks. I think in here. Yeah, that's kind of where they go anyways. They shouldn't even be in here. So there we go. That gives us some a good room, guys, don't you think? Alright, so I'm going to go back to the overworld and see what I can get. So, I think first off, I'll show you that I moved the nether portal. I don't know if I showed you that before, but I did. It's up here with my portal to the mining dimension, like right underneath my pagoda. But then also, if we were to look behind us, bam! You can see that I made an ender portal too. I moved one of those, well, all of these frames, I guess, off one of those ships that has all the ender portal frames. I used the matter transporter here to do so. So, how about we dive in, guys? See what we can find. I think first off, though, I can't remember if I put it in here. There we go. A soul shard for Enderman. Alright. Obviously the Ender Dragon is still there because I think I'm the first person on the server to come here, and I have no intention of fighting him. I'm only here to fight Enderman. If he'll let me. Oh, apparently not, though. Gosh, he's vicious with this hardcore Ender expansion. If I wasn't really, really well defended, this would be going very poorly for me. Alright, I do think I have to come back a little bit more prepared, though. So let's get out of here. Alright. Gosh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to get cracking on to another project. I'm really not sure what yet, but I'm going to look around and see what I can figure out. I'll be back, guys. Okay, so one priority that we have to observe after having gone to the end and gotten beaten and whipped around so bad is that we're going to need more life to take on this world. This new, harsh world that the mod sauce is. So, first things first, going to get some more hearts. Got ourselves 3 of them there, so let's go ahead and slap those into my heart canisters there. And that'll give us 3 more hearts, which will slowly regenerate. Well worth the materials. Well worth the materials. Alright, so I went ahead and put together another ritual. You're probably going to be able to very quickly determine which one this is. So if I go ahead and shoot up here, you can see I got rid of all of the conveyor belts because they were actually causing problems with the ritual that I did. But if you look at the layout of it, you can kind of see that it is the Well of Suffering. Now, of course, my Ritual Diviner, I haven't yet been able to upgrade it to where it'll actually just place the Dusk Runes. I did have to just do those manually with some of the ink, which the Dusk ink is made from a block of coal, if you do not know that. And it takes about, I think, 2,000 instead of 1,000 to make the ink. But yeah, so that's how you get Dusk ink, is with a block of coal. So I slapped this with a weak activation crystal, much like I did with the Ritual of Binding, and it just kicks on and keeps going. Now, while there's nothing here, it's not doing anything. If I was to grab out my Divination Sigil, I don't believe that it's taking anything out of my network. Yeah, nothing is being taken out of the network, so that's okay. That's good. But if things are up here, then it goes ahead and slowly drains their lives and then fills the network with it. So if I go ahead and just drop back down here, and then I'm going to put that piece of netherrack that I knocked out back and then turn it on. So then it'll spawn villagers, they'll start taking damage, and you can see, if I get my Divination Sigil and move a little bit away from that to kind of lessen the noise. Yeah, 9122, 9128. So with the sacrifice runes, it is even amplified more, just like a normal sacrifice would be. So I am getting more life points than I would normally get out of the Ritual of the Well of Suffering up there. So there we go, guys. We have passive life point generation that can just be on all the time because the spawner is not going to stop spawning because I've already put the soul gem in it. And it's something I can turn off and on if I need to, but honestly, I probably won't need to. So the only thing I'm missing there is a sound muffler to turn those villagers down a little bit. But anyways, that ritual done. Now I basically just turn it on and let it go. I've got all the life points I could ever need as long as I keep one of my crystals, whatever my highest tier crystal is, inside of my altar. But what I'm going to do next is work on getting myself some of the higher tier slates, because I've got a couple of things in mind that I want to do with them. So I'm going to work towards that, guys. I'll be back in a little bit. And I think on that happy note, and with this sound muffler in place to keep the villagers from being too noisy while they're being slowly drained of life, we're going to have to go ahead and end the episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It is a lot of fun to play these mods. I'm quite intrigued by this blood magic. I'm sad that I never got into it at any other point. Like, this is the first time that I've gotten into it. But guys, I'm going to be working towards a few other things in blood magic in the coming episodes. I'm going to really work towards that bound armor. That's something I really, really want to get. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like on the episode. And if you didn't learn anything, but you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like for that too. If you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.